Great morning, great morning. 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. It is time for the It's About You radio show. I'm your host, Maurice McDonald. Each and every Tuesday morning, I have the privilege to honor the opportunity to share some amazing information with you. This show is designed to get into your ears, into your heart, and hopefully into your legs to help you to be the best you can possibly be, to move towards your greatness that you were created for. Those of you who join me each and every week for the last 2 years, you know my background is that I've been a former law enforcement officer, been a professional school counselor, domestic violence counseling, and now teacher at a college and now a radio show. Can you believe it? 40 years ago, I wanted to go into radio television broadcasting. My creator said, not yet. He got a sense of humor. He brought it back 45 years later, brought the radio to me. And this has been fantastic. So because of this, I know it's 8 o'clock. Somebody's having breakfast. Someone is in the car. Someone's in the office already. So I thank you for listening. Reach out to all of your people that you know. Tell them to log on to the It's About You radio show here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. And because it's 8 o'clock, you know, I always start with the morning quote of the day. The morning quote of the day today is brought to you by Brene Brown, guys. Fantastic. Her quote is, talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. Let me say that again. Talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. What are you telling yourself? What words are you saying about you? What words are you speaking over your life? What are you saying? I got a brain fog. I'm getting stupid. I'm a slow learner. All the things that you are saying about yourself. Talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. Start loving yourself, and that starts with what you say over yourself, what you speak over yourself. Even though at kidding, I was a slow kid. I rode the slow bus to school. I rode the short bus. All the craziness that you say, you speak over yourself. Stop it. Let's start with that. Don't speak negative about yourself. Talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. And that is your morning quote of the day, brought to you by MauriceMcDonald.net. Go to MauriceMcDonald.net, MauriceMcDonald.net, and learn all about your gut microbiome. All disease begins in the gut, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of Tuesday morning, let me tell you, most of you know I travel to a lot of different places, events, meeting a lot of interesting people, and I love that from all walks of life. Well, today I have a guest that I'm telling you is no different. I believe my Creator puts me in places I need to be so I can find my tribe. I'm still looking for my tribe. You're part of my tribe. But I met a young lady you ever met someone immediately you knew there was something about them? Well, yeah, the lady I'm going to share with you today is, Miss Dominique Milton, a woman that I met that she's going to introduce herself in a moment. What doesn't she do? And soon to be doctor. Hello, she's working on a PhD on top of that as well. But she's part of the council, and you're going to learn what the council is. And it spoke to me immediately, and I knew that she had to be on the show because she's connected to a lot of powerful organizations, corporate America, all kinds of things. And I'm going to have her introduce herself and tell you what the council is, who the council are, why it's important, and why you may need to. This may speak to you. I don't know, but I just knew it had to be who she is and what she's about. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and call the doctor because I believe in speaking those things into existence. It's not there yet, but she's working on it. It's going to be there. How are you, Miss Milton? How are you?
I am so great, Maurice. Can I call you Maurice?
Absolutely call me Maurice.
Maurice, you and I have something in common, and that is that we don't believe that there are any coincidences. The fact that our booths were right next to each other at the Black Expo in Charleston was serendipitous. And you're right, like you said, we immediately had the connection. I love your quote for the day. Talk to yourself like you would talk to someone you love, because I'm a believer that love is what we are measured on, right?
Yes.
And I think when we get to heaven, the Lord's going to say, how did you love those people, right? How did you take care of people, right? What did you do to help somebody grow? And that's what I'm in the business of doing, Maurice. I'm in the business of growing businesses.
Growing businesses and people.
And so let me tell you a little bit about my background if you want me to start there.
Absolutely.
I went to Spelman College. I got to always shout out my HBCU.
Spelman.
College grad.
Spelman. Spellman's in the house. That means you know
Spellman's in the
Morehouse.
house.
So you know
Yeah,
Morehouse brothers.
yeah, I'm married to a Morehouse man, so
I,
we're a Spellhouse family. I have two Spellman graduates, and then a College of Charleston graduate. So, we are steeped in HBCU love. So just want to start there. My background is economics and business. I have a business degree from Penn State. And as you said, I'm working towards my doctorate. And I tell you, it's the hardest thing I've ever done, but I'm being diligent about it. And I love you putting that into the atmosphere that, it's going to be, right? So that's my background. I worked in corporate America for 20 plus years on the innovation side, building businesses within inside of corporate America. And then I segued to help a friend start a business. And we grew that business from $0 to $20 million in a very short period of time. And the way in which we did that was through organizations like the one that I run right now. I was introduced to this organization when I was a business owner. And through that introduction, we became very engaged with CVMSDC. That's the proper name of the organization, is cvmsdc.org. The short name is the Council. We're part of NMSDC, which is the National Minority Supplier Development Council. We have about 16,000 members nationwide, and there are 23 presidents like myself. So I cover North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. But again, there are 23 of us covering the United States, and we also have an international presence. We do four things. We certify that you are indeed an ethnic minority business owner. We help develop you, because to our listeners, if you have a business, you always need development. No matter where you are, if you're at $1 million, $1 billion, wherever you are, you need development to get to the next level. So we help you with that development. We connect you. We have large connecting events like the one you were at in Charleston. We have events like that to connect individuals to the supply chain folks that they want to be connected with. And we advocate for you on a state and national level. So that's the work that we do. I call us an economic growth engine.
Economic growth engine. I love that. And that is so true. And the fact that you and I met at the right there in Charleston. By the way, shout out for Charleston, South Carolina. I love one of my favorite cities in South Carolina to go to at an event. Out of all the hundreds of vendors that were there, you and I were right next to each other. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's why to me the space you're in is so important.
Yes.
Because you
Yes.
see that some of you, my listener, I want you to know a bottle of water in a department store will be one price. That same bottle of water on the airline or high-end hotel, that price will increase. So sometimes the value is where you are, being at the right place at the right time, recognizing it with the right company, and you in the right spirit, ready to receive it, is so important. So that's for somebody who doesn't know their worth. Yeah,
There you go.
you're worth a lot. And don't let anybody, especially my women out here, ladies, listen, society loves to put women down. Well, women can't do this. And listen, forget all that. For some reason, somebody need to hear that this morning. So I want to put that in there. Be in the right place. So you help businesses. You help business,
Yes.
small business and big business. But the key
That's
thing you
right.
said, they all need development.
All of them.
So if somebody is listening now and says, well, I don't need development, my business is boom, I'm running boom, I see a problem immediately. What do you think that
Absolutely.
is?
And let me tell you a funny story before I answer your question. When I was a little kid, instead of having a lemonade stand, I had a water stand. I was ahead of my time, right? And my mother said, "You sold that water and you didn't put any Kool-Aid in it?" I said, "Mom, they were buying it. 10 cents a cup. They were buying my water." And some of them, and I just took the water out the side of the spigot of the house and put it in a Dixie cup and they bought it. Who knew
Who
that people would be
knew?
buying water for $6 a bottle,
Who knew?
right? Who knew?
Who?
So if I had somebody who said, "Hey, you got something here, we can bottle this," I'd have been a
Oh,
billionaire
you've
by
been a
now, right?
billionaire. Hey, you've been a billionaire at
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
right. So, getting back to your question, why do people think they don't need development? So, I'm going to talk about our community and I'm talking about all businesses, but people think that they can do it on their own, right?
Right.
And what is the failure rate of business? Most businesses, 50% of businesses fail, right? Most of them fail within the first 5 years because they're trying to do it on their own. They I know I have knowledge, I can get this done. You cannot borrow from auntie, use all your own money to start your business. Because when you do that, you bankrupt yourself and then you don't have cash flow, right? And if you don't have cash flow, you're worrying from day to day how you're going to make payroll, right? And that is why most businesses fail, because they don't have a business plan going in. That business plan has to include where your funding is going to come from. And guess what? It also needs to include how you're going to exit the business, right? And so there are organizations out there like ours. I still call us the best kept secret because most people don't know that we exist. We exist solely to help businesses grow. The last time I talked to somebody, they said, "Where have you been? I didn't even know you existed." And I said, "That's the problem. We're the best kept secret. But we have the largest ethnic minority owned businesses in our network. Worldwide Technologies started with $1,500. Google it, folks. Worldwide Technologies. He is the largest African American owned business in the United States. He's worth about $24 billion. Janice
Billion with the
Bryant
B,
Howard,
the
with a big
the
$24 billion, starting with $1,500 in his garage. All right, bigger than most corporations. We have Janice Bryant Howard. She started with $1,500 in a concept, and she became the first African American billionaire. And she has a staffing company. So these are individuals who are in our network, and then we have startups. We have companies under a million, under 10 million, under 50 million, and they go all the way up. So we don't have a limit or a bottom of where you start. But by all means, connect with somebody. When I'm talking to people, I say, reach out your arms, stretch your arms out wide. That is the length of your ability, is the length of your arms. That's all you can do, right? But if you start connecting with organizations like ours, if you start connecting with other people, and you have what I call a bail team, and we can get into that in a moment, but you have to have your own board of directors, a bail team, and you need to be connected with these folks, and then you can do a lot more.
wow. So, how long have you been a part of the council?
Oh my goodness. So when I was that business owner 20 years ago, I became part of the council. And then we grew our business and we sold it. As I said, you have to have a sales plan, right? That's when you really make your money, is when you sell the business. Magic Johnson said, I have businesses for 3 years. I circle them out and I get on to the next one. And I make my money and sell it on, right? You've got to have that mindset. You don't want to be in your business until you die, because most of the time your kids don't want to take on your business, right? So you got to have a strategy. So about 20 years ago, I got engaged with this organization. And about 10 years, no, just I've been here 13 years. So about 13 years after that, I started working under the president as a director of corporate services. And in a year and a half, I ascended to be the president when my president retired. So I've been in this role for 9 years as the president and chief engagement officer of CVMSDC.org.
And so, and that CV, uh, MSDV stands for the Carolina Virginia Minority Suppliers Direct Council, correct?
Development Council.
Development Council.
Development is key. We are in the development business.
Developing. So if somebody's sitting here now hearing this going, they've had an idea for a business. But they didn't have any direction. It just, you know how that I call it that burning desire. You know, if you think about that, the great, to me, business book and life book is obviously Think and Grow Rich. You
One
know,
of my favorite books. We have so much in common.
yes,
One of my
that
favorite
book,
books. Yeah.
that book. Anybody have not read Think and Grow Rich, put that on your list, right? Whatever you read right now, other than your Bible, move it to the side. Grab Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, because he talks about that burning desire. So if you've had a burning desire to start a business and it won't leave you, it just won't shake you. You're working a 9 to 5, or keep it 9 to 5 until you can get, do what you got to do. 9 to 5s are okay. But if you've been wanting to start your business and no point, don't let it go. I would say, what would you say to someone who's had a burning desire to want to start a
I would
business?
say, first of all, you need to be in ChatGPT or Claude, some AI tool, right? If you're not working with AI, you're already behind the eight ball. Last night, I've been using AI for 3 years. Last night, I went to a tutorial on YouTube and learned something new and was able to implement it very quickly. And the speed in which it gave me the information was amazing. So I would say, get ChatGPT, get the free version if you don't have it already, and start there, but then go move up to the next version. And I would say, put in there, give me a summary of Think and Grow Rich. and it'll spit out a summary. Then I would say, go to that ChatGPT and put in your idea, your concept, and say, give me a business plan for this concept. And immediately you're going to have a mock business plan for yourself. So, I
Yes.
mean, what would take a long time before, you can do it in minutes. You could say, design a logo for this business. Boom, you're going to have a logo. Who's my target audience for this business? You put all this in chat. You don't have to do the work like you used to have to do the work. You put it in, it comes out, and then you execute on it. So I tell everybody the two most important things, and my favorite word is intentionality. I have a show called Intentionality with Dominique that you can see if you go to our website. But I say you have to be intentional about all things. Where you spend your money, where you spend your time, where you save your money, and who you engage with, right? Be intentional. And then you have to be courageous, right? So you can put all those things in ChatGPT, but then if you're scared and you don't have the courage to act on it, nothing is going to happen, right? So you got to be intentional and you got to be courageous. So everybody listening under the sound of our voice can use these AI tools to do whatever it is that you need to do. I use it for my Sunday school lesson. I'll tell you a story, Maurice. One time I was running some errands, and my assistant said to me, Dominic, you have a presentation that you have to do at 3 o'clock. And it was 1:45. I was like, oh my goodness. Ran home, I put in ChatGPT, give me a 10-page PowerPoint presentation for XYZ. And it gave it to me. I said, could you put it in PowerPoint? And it did. I was on the phone in 15 minutes and I was given a full-blown presentation.
See.
Now mine has I have a private ChatGPT, so it has my name and it knows how I speak and it knows what I do, right? So it was able to create that for me very quickly, right? So you have to train this tool, but that's what I would advise everybody to do is get on board with AI.
Listen, this is how I know this we were destined to meet, because I teach at the college and I have, of course, I have to watch students with AI, write their papers and all that kind of stuff. But they are afraid, because I have students from 18 to 25 and then jump up to 65. And my people over 50, and I know I got some over 50 listening, afraid of the computer, afraid of chat, afraid of internet, afraid of social media, fear. Get out of your fear. I tell myself, I'm talking about me. I'm not calling you the old dog. I'm the old dog that had to learn new tricks. Because what you just said, I moved up from the free version to the paid version. And let me tell you, the same thing. It puts together a whole lesson plan for me based upon this book, this chapter, what I need, handouts, develop everything for me. And I'm telling you, it's rocking my courses. And I got to keep it things that are good for me, for my auditory learners, my visual learners, the kinesthetic. I have to tap into everybody's learning style. So if you got business, if you're interested in developing a business, get the chat. Now, some of you thinking, well, how much it costs? Listen, let me give you the cost. Let me tell you the price. One thing I've learned anytime, if you ask how much does it cost, what I say to you is, I'm confused. That depends on, you want the price of you not doing it, or you want the price of you doing it. See, there's two prices. If you only look at the monetary one, I always say, and this is what my mentor said to me. He said, listen, the cost of you not doing it is unimaginable.
You're out of business.
You're out of business. You never will get it. The cost of you doing it, less time, more freedom. I mean, you name it. You have a business, more money, more peace of mind, or what. It's unlimited. So stop focusing on how much something costs. Focus on the cost of me not doing it. I'll be the same way I was 20 years ago, because I've been wanting the business for 20 years and I'm still wanting, because I was afraid. She mentioned the word fear. Get fear out of the way. Fear is blocking blessings from people. Fear is keeping you from going to the next level. Step out of the comfort zone, because your comfort zone is your broke zone. And I'm not talking, it's the reason they call that chair the lazy boy. Okay? That chair has the right name. You're sitting in that comfort zone, should be stepping out here, going into your business. I don't know how to connect. Guess what? Now she's dropped some knowledge for you. Oh my gosh. I know today we're kind of moving all over the place here, but what are some of your thoughts about people who are afraid to move out in fear because of fear?
That's well, fear is faith twisted. So
Mm.
we all have some fears, right? And I'm studying this in our Bible study. But you've got to realize, but there was that song, if he did it before, he'll do it again.
Yes.
We forget that. We know God brought us through whatever it was before, and then we get in a new situation and we think, how am I going to get out of it? But he did it before. He's going to do it again. You have to remain faithful. So fear is faith twisted. I got that from my father-in-law in one of his sermons.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is faith twisted. And every time, every day, every moment that you're walking, you got the devil on one shoulder and God on the other. And the devil's telling you, you're not enough. You're not worthy. You can't do this. And God is pushing you. I've given you all that you need. You have all the resources. You just don't know that you have them. I put you in this season for a reason. Stay here. Be planted in this season. Grow in this season and prepare for the next. Do not be fearful because I got you, right? So every time you feel that fear coming on, you just push that negative side away, that devil talking to you because he's working, he's busy, right? And you lean into what you would tell somebody that you love, right? Speak positivity into yourself and focus on building courage. But we're all going to have those fearful moments, but you just got to remember, he's done it before, he'll do it again. He's got you through it all. You've got to do that self-talk. Constantly do that self-talk. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Talk to yourself constantly. And I tell people, I said, every encounter that you have with an individual is a test. Some are going to fail. Some are going to pass. But when you fail, you have to have the emotional intelligence to go back and self-correct and say, I made a mistake. I apologize. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Because we're not going to pass every test. But you got to realize that it's all a test. And the last thing I'll say about that is, and when you're fearful, stop, drop, and pray. You've got to pray through it all. Sometimes I'm in a meeting, Maurice. People think I'm writing notes. They're acting crazy. They think I'm writing notes. I'm writing out a prayer.
In the midst of the meeting.
Yeah, well, they think I'm writing notes, but they're acting crazy. Okay, so let's pray on this. I can't close my eyes and get on my knees, right?
Yeah.
Because then they'll think I'm crazy, but I'm writing out my prayer. Okay, let's get this fixed.
I love that. And so, I mean, oh my God, there's so many things that's going through my mind right now. This whole piece you're talking about, it's like I'm talking to myself, right? Because this is exactly how I think, because obstacles come and people act crazy and fear comes. I got to find a place to put that. I got to learn to put fear in time out.
Yes.
I mean, fear is there. And I've got a mentor that says to me, by the way, your mentor doesn't have to be older than you. I got a mentor that's younger. Hello. It got nothing to do with the age, okay? But the idea was, he said, because in business, he says, you got to learn to dance with fear.
Yes.
Dance with the fear. Fear gonna show up. Dance with the fear, and then dance so hard you dance better than the fear. Because you know how when somebody knows how to dance and you don't know how to dance, you want to get off that floor as quick as you can to go sit down because they showing you out. Okay. And at the end of the day, when he said dance with the fear, I it just came to my mind and said, so I need to dance with the fear and outdance the fear and make fear go sit down.
I love that analogy. I love that.
Make fear go sit down, because fear realizes I got the wrong partner. The fear realizes I'm in the wrong space. I need to sit down. This person ain't afraid of me. They're better dancers than me. They got stronger faith than me. This fear not, and you just gave me another piece. Fear ain't twisted on here. Faith and fear can't stay in the same spot. And there's only space for one.
There you go.
I choose my faith and keep moving with that, because there are people I'm sure listening right now afraid. They've had setbacks. I've got a colleague that's had a setback. I know
we get a setback every day.
We get a setback every day. We get a setback. Listen, and you know what Willie Jolly says? Willie Jolly's books, you already know what he says.
Love Willie Jolly.
Willie Jolly said a setback is a setup for a what? Comeback. The
That's right.
comeback. And I know when she hears this, she's going to say, he talking about me on the radio. Yeah, I'm talking about you. That setback. When your business takes a hit. When you start to go through some things, COVID take you through some things. COVID hit a lot of businesses and small businesses and learning to bounce back from
Yeah,
that.
but you gotta look at what was the positive that came out of COVID. Everybody talks about the negative that came out of COVID, but there was so much positive that came out of it.
Yeah, being a
And when you go through a storm, you got to figure out what is the blessing at the end of the storm. What is
mm,
God teaching you? How is He
yes,
strengthening you as you go through that storm? We just had that lesson on Sunday. How going through a storm, how you get through a storm.
how you get through it. How do I reposition myself? How do I reinvent myself? Well, what adjustment that I had to make? And some of it is going virtual. The biggest adjustment somebody gonna get today is they're gonna get their chat. Come on. Some of y'all now realize the day you heard it, you've been telling, confessing how you scared of it. I don't know about that thing. Guess what? If you don't have that, you way behind in 2026.
Way behind. And
And
like I
that,
said, I was
yeah.
using it for 3 years and I just did a tutorial and it just took me to a whole nother level. So I say for you too, do a tutorial every night. But can I speak on something that you mentioned about your mentor could be younger than
Yeah,
you?
just one moment. We're gonna take a quick
Huh?
break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
What if I told you that some of the most powerful influences in life live in your gut? That's right. Trillions of tiny microbes make up your gut microbiome, and they're busy chatting with your brain, your immune system, even your mood. These conversations are called gut accesses. Think of it as your body's group chat. When the gut speaks, everything listens. Your energy, focus, and digestive system might feel it too. The good news is small changes like taking P84, 84 organically grown fruits and superfoods harvested worldwide, which supports a healthy gut microbiome. Take it in powder form. Simply pour it in 8 ounces of water. Then take Protandim, which has been clinically tested to reduce oxidative stress in your body by 40% in 30 days. It can give you the healthy edge. Imagine turmeric, green tea, ashwagandha, and many more healthy supplements that don't just provide supplementation, but activation. This healthy edge pack will significantly impact your overall health. Change one thing and change everything. Go to mauricemcdonald.net. That's MauriceMcDonald.net to learn more and get the healthy edge, or call 877-634-8194 to get free samples and learn how you can take charge of your health today. Okay, we're back. We're back, guys, here on the It's About You radio show, WDRB Media, the voice of the community. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed that first ad. If you just joined us now, boy, you missed the first one. Of course, you can always go back and listen to my shows, the It's About You radio show, YouTube channel right there. But listen live right now. Listen to what we're talking about here today. I've got soon to be Dr. Dominique. I keep putting that in the atmosphere because I
All
believe in
right.
speaking those things in there. Dr. Milton going to be sharing some information with us about what we need to do, overcoming those fears and those kinds of things. But we left off, and I was telling you about me having a mentor that's younger than me, and you wanted to share something. Go right ahead.
I wanted to share with you, and it's funny. While we took the break, I just put it in Chat GPT because I couldn't remember it exactly. But I read one time where you have to have 7 types of friends. You got to have a spiritual friend. You have to have a mentor, an older friend. You have to have a peer friend, a younger friend, a person you pour into and can give you young advice. You have to have the truth teller, the friend who loves you enough to be honest. You have to have an encourager friend and the fun friend. And it doesn't have in here workout friend, but I say a spiritual friend and a workout friend. And that's called diversification, right? So you diversify your friend group. And then to build on that, for my business owners and really for a family too, you need a board of directors. Corporations have board of directors, but small businesses don't think that they need a board of directors. You've got to have an advisory group for you in your business because otherwise is all your thought, and you've got to have diverse thoughts telling you, oh no, well that group won't buy that, or this group would like resonate with this information. And when you have that, that helps. And the last point is what I call a bail team. That bail team is a banker, an accountant, an insurance person, and a lawyer. You have to have them and their phone numbers in your phone, just like you have your hairstylist. I know you got your barber's phone number in your phone. And if a woman, they got the hairdresser's phone in the phone, right? Her phone number in the phone. But do you have your banker, your accountant, your insurance person, and your lawyer in your phone? And do you know them on a personal basis? Because every individual, business owner or not, every family needs that team.
Oh, that's a whole show within itself, right there. Oh, I'm just sitting there going, oh, body blow, body blow. Let me tell you, as this was an amen corner, they be saying, go ahead on, ma'am, preach. Because that bail team is important. Because the first thing that hit my mind is, if you have a 9 to 5 mentality job only, in this 2026, it can be so difficult because there's no job security. Companies are not loyal to you. They go a different direction. And so that bail team is so important. So even if you have a 9 to 5, you need a bail team anyway.
Everybody needs a bail team.
And for those who are listening again, tell them what the bail represents again.
A banker. So when we went into COVID, a lot of people didn't have banking relationships and they didn't get their PPP funded because they simply didn't have a relationship. I had money in the bank, and I had a lot of money in the bank for this organization, and I thought surely I'll get my loan from them, but I didn't have a personal banker in my phone. I had to go to my friend who was a personal banker and get my money from a different bank, and I didn't even have I didn't have money in that bank. I since put it in there, but the relationship is what got me through the PPP loan. So you've got to have your banker's phone number in your phone. I've got 2 personal bankers now after that experience, right? Your accountant. Don't try and figure out your own numbers. You don't cut your own hair. Don't try and figure out your accountant, okay? Because that will ruin your business, right? And an insurance person, well, let me go back to the accountant. Our accountant helps us save money on a regular basis when we do our taxes. You got to have an insurance person. I've got a direct number. My insurance person is dialed into my phone, and anything I need, I can call on a regular basis, right? Then you got to have a lawyer. We started a business. I'll tell you this story. We started a business. It was a Blimpies. And my lawyer set up the paperwork for the business. And when we had to close the business, we couldn't even sell it because it was in such a bad location. When we had to sell it, we closed the doors. Well, the landlord came after us and said, you need to pay the rent. My lawyer said, they don't exist. You can't get any money from them. He had us locked up so tight, I didn't even know. I would not even know what to ask for. But that lawyer had done that paperwork so tight. He said, they don't exist. Sorry, you can't get anything from them. And we were out and gone. And it was a beautiful thing. But I always remember, if I didn't have that, how it would have impacted me financially.
That is huge. First and foremost, you just dropped some knowledge on me to educate myself. Because to be honest with you, I don't have a bail team. Okay,
Most people don't. Most people don't.
Guess what? I'm getting a bail team. Hey. Now some folk need bail because they got locked up. I ain't talking about that bail. Yeah. Of course, you better have somebody get you out of jail too if you need to. You gotta have that ride or die who gonna be with you that's gonna help you. But at the end of the day, you just dropped a lot of knowledge on because people fail in business because, like you said, they're doing it all by themselves, and that's a lot of frustration and not knowing who to call. They say that the best time to learn to swim is before you jump in.
There you go.
Because if you're in that water, you can't swim and it's 8 feet. You need to listen. You need to have had somebody to help you before you go there. To have that to help somebody, to have that man. So if somebody just has a 9 to 5 job but they want to have a business, or they're thinking about it, the bail team starts it off because you got to have the banker, you said, and the accountant.
Yeah, and again, that bail team is for individuals. Forget about the business owner. Everybody listening, you are just you work 9 to 5 and you don't want a business, but you got a family. Everybody listening needs a bail team because Everybody can be stopped by the police. Everybody has taxes they got to pay. Everybody needs to be protected legally. So this is not just for business owners. This is for everybody. And when you're part of an organization like mine, we're an advocacy group. We give you training on these things. I had a whole seminar on bail teams, and we had everybody represented. We had a banker, an accountant, an insurance person, and a lawyer there to talk to you about the benefits of that and how you can connect with them. So these are the types of workshops that we have at our events so that you become educated.
Yes. And you know I'm gonna be. You know already. I'm that I'm gonna be in the workshops in the building because one thing I have learned is that I need to continue learning.
Yes,
Oftentimes people
everybody
think
does.
you're smart. Exactly. I'm glad you said everybody, but there are individuals who think they know it all, or they talk to the wrong people. You got the wrong people on your bail team. People who don't have any expertise, but they got plenty of advice, and it's the wrong advice giving
But
you.
I'm going to tell you, coaches have coaches.
Yeps, therapists got therapists. Hello,
There you
listen.
go.
As a matter of fact, I don't want to even talk to a pastor who don't have somebody he or she's talking to. Okay, because we
Right.
all need some help and learn and help talk us off the bridge at times as well too. Because people act crazy when you work with people. I promise you, you're gonna see all kinds of stuff you never heard from. Listen, working with people, bless you. You got to stay prayed up. Because they come at you
So,
with craziness.
well, let me tell you my other point about working with people. People who take things personally get all caught up, right? Because you're dealing with people. So people come at you with their own issues. And if you take something somebody says to you personally, but it's really all about them, you're going to get all caught up in that. And that's going to impact your elevation.
Mm, that hey, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Another powerful book talks about the four agreements. You know,
Yes.
the four agreements. Oh,
I can tell you a story about that.
yes, and now there's a fifth one too. And one of those
Oh,
things
wow.
is number one, speak well of yourself. We talked about that as well. And
Uh-huh.
one of those agreements is, hey, number one, don't take things personally.
Don't take them personally.
And if you take, oh, they did that, they cut me off in traffic. They did. That's why road rage starts so much. People taking things
Uh-huh.
personally. They know they just doing this to make me late. No, this got nothing to do with you. But stop taking things personally. He said this, or she must have said that. So that's why relationships mess up. You took something personally. They didn't mean it that way, but you did, and you didn't. I ain't gonna. Just the principle. I ain't gonna apologize. Foolishness. So stop taking things personally. Speak well of yourself. There's two of those four agreements that's there. So guys, listen. So you've heard about Think and Grow Rich. Now I just laid another book on you called The Four Agreements. The
Yes.
Four Agreements. Oh, let me
Let me
tell
tell you
you.
my story about that.
Sure, go ahead.
I was at an event, a conference, and another conference was ending, and they were giving away all the stuff because they didn't want to carry it home. So I went in and I started grabbing some stuff, and I didn't know about the four agreements, and I grabbed a box of cards, which was the four agreements. I was like, this is nice, right? I didn't open it. I didn't. I just knew what I had, right? I go to my summer house, and one of my guests had left the book there, the four agreements. I was like, okay, let me get all up into this because truly, God is saying twice you have been given the four agreements. It's like we said in the beginning, nothing happens by chance. It's all planned. And that Four Agreements is one of my favorite books
Yeah.
as well as The Slight Edge. Have you read The Slight Edge?
No, haven't read The Slight Edge.
Got to read The Slight Edge. The Slight
Okay.
Edge says two people going, everybody starts out the same way, two people going down the path. It's kind of like the other Westmore, right? Two people going down the same path. One of them eats a Big Mac every day. Nothing happens in the beginning, right? But the other one has a vegetarian diet. Well, in the end, the person who ate the Big Mac every day, you know what they're going to look like. You know what their health numbers are going to look like. But the person who was a vegetarian, every day, nothing happened in the beginning, but gradually over time, they end up better and healthier, right? So
Mhm.
it's the slight little things that you do that make a difference in your trajectory of your life. And Westmore talks about that in the other Westmore.
Okay, Slight Edge. I'm writing that down. Add that to the list because also what I do is in my classroom settings, I provide them opportunities to get other books. I have resource books, additional resources along with with the textbook. to always
Mm-hmm.
help them, because let me tell you, there's so many things that are out here. And I'm a firm believer. I think my eighth grade teacher said readers are leaders, and I thought it was
Oh,
kind of
yes.
corny way back in the day, but boy was she right. At the end of the day, having that part, because if you really really want to know something, it's somewhere in the book. Somebody already wrote it. It's just
Yeah.
new to you. It's already there, and people are walking around in circles, emotionally wrecked, financially wrecked, spiritually wrecked, physically wrecked, all the wrecks in the happening, and I'm blaming somebody else, and it's the man or the woman in the mirror that I need to work on, and finding that mentor, finding that. I love that part where you said about friends, and
Mm-hmm.
that you said, now what were the names of the titles of different friends you need?
Okay, I'm gonna go back to. I gotta find my Chat GPT because it's in there. I gotta go find out where it was. But talking about what were you? What did you just say?
I was just talking about the people that you have, in your life that is somewhere in a book, or
Oh
that,
yeah, what I
yeah,
was gonna say is that the most common factor between all wealthy people, what do you think it is? What do all wealthy people have in common?
they read a
They read, they have a
library,
huge
and
library.
they got
You
a
go to the
huge,
houses and they have a library,
yep,
right?
they got a
All have a
library in their house.
library.
Yes. And that's the idea of it is, whereas a lot of people who don't, there's a TV in every room. Hello? There's a TV, 15 different TVs. The idea of it is, and it's been so interesting. I'm on this 90-day journey helping myself, with some things, and my television has been out. And the best part about it is I haven't had the television on, and oh my gosh, it's been 7 weeks. And at the end of the day, I'm finding I'm more productive, helping me on the journey I'm working on, business wise, a 90-day blitz, so to speak, helping myself grow and do things. And so a lot of times we get stuck on the latest movies and everything else, that's there. But understanding that this work that we have to do on ourselves, it is work.
It is. It is.
Continuing to grow, the exercise, the physical part, walking, me getting the 40 pounds off, me getting better, not having the knee pains, not having the hip pains, not having all the pains that I used to have because of, changing the diet, that slight edge that you just talked about. A
Right.
little changes, slight edges over a period of time,
That's right.
and
That's
just
right.
it changes us.
Yep. Now here I found it. I pulled it back up. And again, ChatGPT. So I lost the last one I put in, but it says here are 7 types of friends most people benefit from having. The spiritual friend, someone who helps you stay grounded in faith and purpose. They pray with you, study with you, or simply remind you of what matters when life gets noisy.
Mm,
The older friend, a wise friend mentor. This is a person who has walked ahead of you in life. They offer perspective, wisdom, and sometimes a gentle reality check.
mm-hmm.
The younger friend, a younger friend keeps you fresh, energized, and connected to new ideas. They remind you not to take yourself too seriously.
Wow.
The truth teller, this friend loves you enough to be honest. They celebrate you, but they will also put you aside and say, you might want to rethink that. The fun friend. Life cannot be all work and responsibility. This is a friend you laugh with, travel with, or simply enjoy life with. I call them your belly laugh friends. The work and growth friend. Someone who challenges you professionally or intellectually. You exchange ideas, collaborate, and push each other to grow. That could be your mentor. And then the loyal friend. This is the ride or die friend. When life gets difficult, they show up, no explanation needed.
Mm,
And again, all I did was put into ChatGPT because I had read it somewhere before,
right.
but I don't know where I read it. I said,
Exactly.
ChatGPT, tell me what the 7 types of friends you should have are.
Yes, that is so real, because I know somebody just got blessed hearing that, because I know they were writing it down. I wanted to go back to people sharing that, because this will be taught in my classroom. Hello, I'm teaching a class. I'm starting now to deal with interpersonal relationship, and a lot of times people, we get stuck from the neck up. We go to the doctor for the checkup.
Mm-hmm.
If you're bleeding, you really bad stomach cramps, you got having whatever issues going on in your body, you will go to the emergency room in a heartbeat. But the checkup from the neck up, I need a therapist. I need to go for spiritual counsel. I need to go for this. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm straight. I'm fine, and you're not, and
But
so
that's true. Let me tell you what my younger friend told me. She says, Dominique, I'm going to prescribe something to you. I want you to watch BET for 1 hour a month because I want you to stay current. And I'm like, okay. I never thought about that, And then a younger friend would come. My assistant is younger than me. She says, let me show you how to do this in your computer. Let me show you how to. And in a few seconds, she could change some things around on my computer that I wasn't doing and I didn't know, would have never thought about, right? And it's taking me hours to do.
Yes,
right?
that is so
And
true.
my spiritual friend taught me you don't just pray when you need something. You study. You immerse yourself in the Bible. So I could go on and on, but I'll stop
So,
there.
hey, what they say, study, and they say, show yourself to be approved, right? Study and be able to understand this. And when you mentioned about younger friend, as a high school counselor, working with ninth graders and all with the seniors, oh my gosh, I learned, they kept me young. And I also had a 17-year-old teach me TikTok. Now, all
Yes.
things, and I know people think, I don't know that social media. I've heard so many people, I don't believe in that. And that's why you behind. Keep it up with current terms. Young people will do that. And it doesn't
Yes.
mean that you always are, have to apply or always have to do or that you condone. For example, people from different races, different walks of life, different ages, and I'm gonna go ahead and put out the different sexual orientations. Listen, we're in this world together, and
Right.
understanding that I can learn something from everybody. Doesn't mean I condone their lifestyle at all, but doesn't mean I mistreat them. Doesn't mean I can't learn what somebody's point is at least. But being
That's,
able to have those friends that she just talked about, those 7 friends, oh my gosh. Think about this. Some friends you need to get rid of.
well, we're not gonna go there. But that's getting back to the friends you're supposed to have. That's diversity of friends,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Your bail team needs to be diverse. Your board of directors should be diverse. Because if everybody, let me tell you a story. When my daughter was young, she's about 10 years old. We're walking down a hotel and somebody was having a 70th birthday party. And we looked in there and everybody in the room looked alike. And I said, sweetie, when you turn 70, you don't want your birthday party to look like that. You want to have a variety of different friends in the room, a variety of different races, right? You want to have diversity in your life because most people have not had a different culture at their dining room table. Most people have not had a different culture come over as a house guest. You might have one friend, two, but you need to really reach out across lines to figure out, that we're all alike inside, right? We just have to figure it out, right? We need to
Yes.
figure out how we can get along.
And I think that's so fear and the stereotypes. Or I
Yes.
don't fool with those people. Listen, you're exactly right. You got to have a different, and that's why I realize now that as a man, having female friends is so important. It is not necessary, and that's the biggest thing too. Is when friends have friends like that, not crossing boundaries and all those kinds of things. Keeping friends, male friends, older friends, having that whole piece is important because it's all about the learning process. I can't learn from everybody who's 60. you know because I know we all think alike. I already know, I know that generation, hey, we remember bell bottoms and afros, come on. But at the end of the day, somebody now teaching me TikTok or somebody on Instagram, the importance of those kinds of things, of how to communicate. The language is different, and buying into it. And when people, hey, what's the saying? People don't care how much you know till they know how much you care.
That's
That
Maya
part,
Angelou.
yeah,
Yeah, Maya Angelou.
exactly. I knew I read that. And at the end of the day, that caring piece is so important. And so when we're talking about this, because I know we came here today to talk about one thing, but guess what? I'm enjoying all of this right here. This is hit. And little did I know that the quote I read today about talk to yourself like you would to someone you love would be when I choose the quote, is what hits me and what I've read. That's usually where I get it from, and you glean from it right away. And that was so important to do that. And understanding, I think you mentioned about staying that spiritual friend, staying connected, being
Right.
grounded. Could you talk a little bit more about people who may have who need a spiritual friend?
Well, you need a spiritual friend. First of all, you need a prayer partner, right? And so, some people go to church and some don't. But going, it gives you a different type of outlook, or a different type of covering, different type of feeling to get through the week. But having that spiritual friend, somebody that you can lean in. Let me just step back a second. I don't tell everybody everything, right? I tell my spiritual friend something different than I'm going to tell my old friend, than I'm going to tell my young friend, right? So you have different conversations with these different people. But that spiritual friend is going to help uplift you when we talked about fear. When that fear comes in, she or he is going to remind you that he did it before, he can do it again, right? So that's what we talked about, is why you need spiritual friends is to keep you grounded and to help you grow and to fight off the conversations of the devil.
Yes, that conversation is always, listen, the conversation is always negative. Hey, what they say? There was my mother's neighbor in New York City. I was growing up, and my mother had Alzheimer's and all those kind of things. So she kept a check on my mom till I can get her to where I was. And long story short, I was struggling emotionally because when your mom is going through some tough times, you're going through some tough times. If you've had a good mom, and put it that way, and raised right. Well, long story short, I was complaining to Miss Gibson, and Miss Gibson was one of those old saints listening to me talk. I was venting, and she said to me, she says, "Look, it's okay," in her Jamaican accent. Maurice, everything is going to be okay. God is in control. She says, God, him don't wear pajamas because him don't sleep. That's what she said to me. And I thought to that, I said, wow, he's on top of everything. And she said, life is like a parade. You see it one float at a time, but God sees it from beginning to end.
Oh, wow, wow,
That's
wow.
yes. Though
I never saw that.
yes.
I never heard that.
And listen, when she broke that down to me, life is like a parade. You see it one float at a time as it goes by you. But God sees it from the beginning of the parade to the last float. He sees it ahead of time. My job is to sit and be patient. I was being impatient. So there's that older friend you were talking about dropping some nuggets for me to help me process through my whole struggle that I was going through in my head, wanting to be I want to be in charge. I want to know, why am I going through this? Woe is me, and maybe God don't see me, and all kinds of things that was happening. But that older friend like that, because that time she was like 20 years older than I was and I am, and I'm like, okay, and that helped me process through some things and realize that she's right, and help it going through that process. Sometimes you need a word from somebody that can just kind of open that door for you a little bit there. And I'll tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
As the years go by, the toll of time, the environment, and your daily choices add up. You see it in the mirror. You feel it throughout the day. Most turn to supplements to fill the voids left by modern life. But the truth is, supplements meet basic needs, but often fall short when it comes to restoring true cellular health. The answer to true wellness goes beyond supplementation. It lies within your cells, locked within your DNA. All you have to do is activate it. Born from 40 years of groundbreaking research, LifeVantage is the activation company. And as the authority in nutrigenomics, LifeVantage is leading the charge in cellular activation. Key ingredients in each formula are selected based on science that shows they can unlock your genes and the health coded within, optimizing cellular function just as nature intended. From the original discovery, which activates genes that reawaken your cellular defense system and reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, to the first of its kind collagen activator that increases collagen density by 100%, and the MindBody GLP-1 system, two powerful products that naturally activate GLP-1 to support habit change, mindful eating, and the foundation for lasting change. LifeVantage has pioneered a better approach to wellness that works with your biology, minimizing the impact of age and lifestyle choices, empowering you to live healthier, longer through the transformative power of activation. Turn back the clock. Reignite your body. Live life activated.
To learn more about your gut health and how to activate your body, go to mauricemcdonald.net. That's MauriceMcDonald.net, and learn all about activating your body, your gut health, with 84 fruits and vegetables organically grown all over the world. Again, mauricemcdonald.net, MauriceMcDonald, and unlock your potential today.
Work me today.
Hey guys, we're back. We're back for the It's About You radio show on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. Yes, my amazing speaker today said I worked her today. I most certainly did. Guess I put her to work, but guess what? She dropped tons and tons of nuggets. So I'm going to call you Dr. Go ahead, Dr. Dominique. Tell us in the few minutes we have left. I know you got an event coming up in August, and tell people all about it and what else you want them to know.
Yeah, so our largest event of the year is called the Business Opportunity Conference. We call it BOC 26. It's futurism. And we will be holding that in Raleigh, North Carolina, August 2nd through the 4th. You can go to our website after the 20th of this month and register at www.cvmsdc.org. That's cvmsdc.org, and you can register there. We're going to have training classes. You don't have to be a member. Anybody can attend. Any small business owner can attend, or any corporate person can attend. We're going to have workshops for corporations, workshops for business owners. We're going to have matchmaking, open matchmaking. We're going to have a golf tournament, lots of awards, and we're going to have lots of social networking. You have to be in the room to partake. If you're not in the room, nothing happens. I say you got to be at the table to eat. So join us for our BOC 26, August 2nd through 4th. I look forward to seeing you there. And please mention that you heard about this on this show.
Yes, make sure you go there. Let them know that you heard it on the It's About You radio show, WDRBmedia.com, ladies and gentlemen, and making sure that you understand that this show today has been all about inspiring and helping. And one of the last things we want to plug you with, something that you should have, you must have. You must keep Uncle Sam out of your pocket. She mentioned about that bail, having that accountant. If you remember bail, having an accountant, paying for, stop going to the H&R Block and the place to do. They're just trying to, it's like a puppy mill. They're just trying to get you in and out because it's about numbers. What am I talking about? You have to have a business from home. You have to have a business from home. Why? Turn some bills into expenses legally, morally, and ethically. I'm not talking about cheating, hookup, all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about legitimately having a business from home for tax purposes, income, lots of ways, things that you're doing anyway. Turn some of your vacations into travel business trips, ladies and gentlemen. Why is that important? Vacations are not tax deductible. Business trips are, and you must structure them properly. Keep receipts. I'm not talking about cheating the government. I'm not talking about a hookup. And having a proper accountant to show you how you can do some of those things is so important. That's why I tell you to go to mauricemcdonald.net. Go to mauricemcdonald.net and you learn about what I'm telling you, that gut health. You can connect with me. I'll share some information with you, because I have that person on my team. I got bail. I got that person. That person's been showing me how to save money on taxes. The idea of, yes, instead of paying $12,000 to $15,000 in taxes, only paying $2,000. Are you kidding? I mean, legally. Now I'm not. Oh yes, see, that's See, that's what you need to hear today. Understanding. And so make sure you go to mauricemcdonald.net, reach out to me. And if you definitely want to miss the show or hear another show that's on there, of course, you go to my YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel. It's About You Radio YouTube channel, guys. Go there. Reach out to me also on Instagram, Maurice McDonald 51. You can find me there. And what I want to do today, let you know, Dr. Dominique, let me tell you something. By the way, from now on, you Dr. Dominique until you get it.
Oh my gosh, put it in existence, but I'm not a doctor yet.
And you're not
I'm still
there.
working on it, but I appreciate it.
But you're working on it. That's what hey, there's a book I read that says, call those things that be not as though they were. Come on, some of y'all know what I'm talking about, because one day you will, the cap and gown. I see it. I see the robe on you. It's going to happen soon. And go ahead and do that. And I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule today to be a part of this amazing show. And I know you're going to be back in the future. And I know you have blessed my audience today. And we are so indebted to, I know there'll be some responses. I'll be hearing from some people who always tell me, oh, I enjoyed your show today. Well, I'm so glad you took the time out to be here today with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me on It's About You, Mr. McDonald. And I will tell you, if anybody wants to get in touch with me, they can reach me via email at info, at cvmsdc.org. We'll take emails. My team is small and mighty, so we're all accessible. Please reach out to us. Don't try and build businesses on your own. Understand that there are advocacy groups out there like cvmsdc.org to be able to help you. And this is a national program, so go to nmsdc.org and you can see our entire footprint across the network. Again, we're nationwide, as well as some international presence. So I just thank you for inviting me here, for being intentional, for making it happen, for being my first phone call of the day to make sure that we had this session today. So thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. And listen, we'll see you next week, 8 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, every Tuesday morning, because we're going to be in the building.